All right, and we're live, and I'm here with my frequent sidekick, Artistic Layman,
Hello, everyone.
and let's just make sure this is going out okay on the YouTubes. Sorry if I still sound rough. I still kind of sick, getting just about over it, but and yeah, it's late night because it's third shift, and I actually have off tonight. I never know when the hell I'm gonna have off till just about when I do. Really not particularly happy with the schedule of this current job. But that's, you all have spent way too much time listening to me bitch about my work problems. Moving on. Let's take a look at a picture, shall we? I found the ultimate picture. This, my friends, is atheism.jpg. This is atheism, the picture.
As if Kraut and tea wasn't enough.
This is, if God is dead, it's because he died laughing. This is one of TJ Kirk's, the Anal Atheist, recent videos. As you can see, the title is My Small Penis, which I guess was the subject of it. As you can see, I got about 44 seconds into it before I threw up my hands and yelled done. But I did have to get a picture of this. I did have to, because there's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on here. It's multi-layered. To be fair, you have to have a very high IQ to understand all the reasons TJ is a shithead.
You could tell by the Rick pen.
Yeah, by the Rick and Morty pen, and a Mr. Meeseeks, it looks like right under it.
Look at me.
Yeah, look. Speaking of look at me, let's look at his outfit. Wow. Like, I jokingly call like Styx Hexenhammer like fuck. They just call him Hot Topic, like Styx Hot Topic Hammer or something. But no, and TJ was like, "No, I'll show you fucking Hot Topic."
Yeah, he's actually trying to pull off a Hexenhammer kind of look, isn't he?
It's like, it's like Styx Hexenhammer is trying to look like Razor Fist if he was dying of AIDS. And now TJ is trying to look like Razor Fist dying of diabetes. Somebody in the chat says that's amazing. Yes, it is amazing. So obviously we got the subject here, which is, I'm going to say, like, I've often joked that like most atheism amounts to fuck you, Dad. I'm going to say that the remainder of it amounts to this issue right here. What the subject of the video is on. So we're just going to leave it at that. We're just going to always have that in the corner there as a reminder of the real reason he shakes his fist at God. And then off to the side, you see we've got a holy Bible that he's punched a big old hole in. Get it? Wink, wink. It's the Holy Bible. Oh man. When I need to be like a morning show, like I'm doing these so late night / early in the morning. I should be a morning show. We got to get like some wacky sound effects in here. Get a nice groan right after that. We got a nice skull there. And yet amazingly, I imagine Shoe on Head won't fixate on that for 4 fucking years. And of course we got the outfit. We got the outfit there. That's it's like I'm watching a bad Matrix parody. And of course the Rick and Morty pins. It's getting more and more embarrassing to admit you like Rick and Morty. We got TJ Kirk neon sign in the background there. That's where the Patreon dollars go. It looks like some records hung on the wall there. I don't know what I don't recognize any of those record covers, if that's even what the fuck they are. Because I don't listen to the kind of shitty teenage angst music that TJ no doubt listens to. And it's a really nice banana phone he's got with him too. That's
oh, with the dial wheel and everything.
Oh jeez. It's banana colored, no less. So yeah, I just had to share this with you all because this is like the more you look at it, the more you see.
It's even more entertaining when it's moving. Just look at his more recent videos with his images, just seems so surreal.
So yeah, there we go. 4,000 people like this video. What the fuck are you doing with your life? that you clicked a like on this video. What man? I mean, I don't necessarily have my life very much together right now, but I'm proud to say I've not clicked like on an anal atheist video. Oh.
Well, I guess I was asking about this earlier before the stream, but is he aware of how ridiculous he looks, or is he just being a parody of himself?
It's hard to tell with a guy like that. Yeah. There's no telling with someone like that.
Like, does he know he looks silly, or is he not? I know he doesn't care that he's silly.
I really think he thinks he looks kind of cool. Like, maybe in a sort of jokey way, but I really think he was like, yeah, this is cool.
Oh yeah, cigarette lighter and a cigarette in hand.
Of course. Why wouldn't it, you know? I'm sorry, smoking is for faggots. Like, I don't know.
No offense, Davis.
Davis, you need to hear it. No, seriously, like, look, and I know that there are some health benefits associated with tobacco, but that's like actual real fucking tobacco, okay? If you're getting like fancy hand-rolled cigarettes or cigars even, yeah, it's probably not that bad for you to smoke for it. There might be some health benefits. But the shitty gas station cigarettes that every fucking prole buys, they are absolute fucking poison, okay? They're mostly rat poison. There's barely any fucking tobacco in the damn thing. All right? Yeah, it's... somebody in the chat says he looks like a school shooter who ended up getting expelled before he could do it.
Let's see what we got here. I'm not sure if this picture is accurate.
It probably is. Cadmium batteries. No, I don't think cadmium batteries in it. Or in it. In all fairness, or sewer gas. That might be an exaggeration.
Well, I think it's the ingredient they can associate with the poison.
Oh, I see. Never mind. I was reading it wrong. Cadmium, as in what's in batteries. Okay, I thought it was like a fucking battery shoved in there. They meant. Pardon me with the snorting like DSP there. Like I said, I'm still kind of sick, guys. Bear with me.
I wasn't aware that nicotine was an insecticide.
I didn't know that either. Let's see. Somebody says it's finger banana looking good. He's going for the leather-clad Colonel Sanders biker look. He does look like if Colonel Sanders was a biker. Nietzsche would have fucking hated TJ. That's true. Why does TJ have to kill Metalhead look with his long hair, records, and leather jacket? To be fair, TJ is basically what most metalheads look like to me. Like, they all look a little like TJ. Either they look like TJ or they're really skinny and they look like Styx. Styx Hex and Hot Topic. I don't even have anything against Styx Hex and Hammer, by the way. Not really. Some of his videos I've actually found pretty good. But, man, he looks ridiculous. And let's be real, he is ridiculous. I'm a former Satanist. And then what was he? It was on Pastor Tom was telling me about it. I didn't watch the stream with Styx and Sargon and Richard Spencer. Got to do it that way. I didn't watch that because, well, the reason I didn't watch it is one day I'm going to die. And I don't know when. I don't know when exactly, but one day I'm going to die. I have a finite amount of time on this earth. And I just didn't think I should spend any of it watching Styx Hexenhammer and Sargon and Richard Spencer have a debate. I just didn't feel like I could stand in front of my maker. Like, what'd you do on such and such a day? Well, I watched Styx Hexenhammer debate Richard Spencer.
What's the words that people said to Shia LaBeouf? Life is just too short for that.
Yeah. It's like I'd be less ashamed of like, you know, a day I would have spent like jerking off like 12 times because I was that bored. Like that would be a less shameful day.
Besides, there are people who can give more funny commentaries about it.
Anyways, I've seen little bits of clips, and Pastor Tom was telling me that Richard Spencer was talking about how Christianity is just taken. It's just Jewish people at the time took pagan myths and added it on. It was all a bunch of fucking fedora boiler points that from Richard Spencer. Because of course it was. And like I said, I don't really hate Styx. I've enjoyed some of his videos, but come on, the guy's fucking ridiculous, okay? Like the guy spiritually is just stuck in shit you should have grown out of by like 18. Somebody in the chat says Styx looks like a goat. He kind of does. Oh man. Guys, I'm getting over a cold. Don't make me laugh like that. Let's see. Somebody says TJ looks like an old metalhead who's trying to look cool again. Let's see. Styx is a tranny. No, I don't think Styx is a tranny. I think Styx is in fact a actual dude. All liberals are basically adults stuck in shit they should have grown out of by 18. Yeah, like there was a time, God forgive me, where I might have thought somebody like Styx or probably not TJ, but like some of those fedoras were like maybe Armored Skeptic were actually truly cool, but again, you know that then I turned 19.
What's that old phrase? Time destroys everything.
Yeah, well, time certainly destroys the fedora. One day we'll be looking at stuffed atheists in the museum, the same way we look at stuffed Neanderthals. No, I think that's actually I think that's insulting to Neanderthals. Good old TJ, the anal atheist. Oh, and Richard Spencer getting punched. There we go. I just noticed you threw that up there. So the other funny thing going on in the news, over in Oregon, the latest addition to the Oregon Trail is you have died from pumping your own gas. Over in Oregon, it was one of the few states, only two, I believe, New Jersey being the other one, where you were not legally allowed to pump your own gas. Gas station attendants had to do it. And that has recently apparently changed in Oregon. And social media is awash of pictures of people who have fucked up royally the simple act of pumping your own gas. I've seen pictures of people putting the diesel fuel in, you know, non-diesel cars. I saw a picture of a car driving down the road and it had a fucking it had the gas nozzle like dragging out of the gas pump. They I guess it ripped off the fucking gas pump as it drove off. Yeah, it's oh lordy. Some of the pictures I saw, I had to wonder if they were staged or something. Like obviously this one is this meme here. of people splashing gas all over the place. But there's one I actually saw the girl had the gas nozzle like outside of the gas pump and was trying to like squirt it from there or something, like a good 6 inches removed from it. There it is. That's the one. Like, come on, she couldn't have actually thought that's how you did it, right? I mean, have these people never seen someone pump their gas?
Have they not once seen an attendant do it?
Like you're watering a flower. You just car just absorbs it. I assume she's pointing it at the gas tank. Wow. Holy shit, dude. I wonder how much fucking gas she did that with. Oh, dude. Shit. Wow. So yeah, that's been what's been going on over in Oregon. Not having to pump your own gas is the last stand of implicit white identity.
This is what happens when you're not able to take care of yourself.
And it's not like they're having so like, okay, like, what do I do here? And, like it's taking them long or something, or, it's not like that. It's like, but I mean, it's a basic, you open your gas cap, you stick the nozzle in, you hold down. I mean, to be fucking things up this royally is pretty astounding. Let's see. Going through the chat here. Oh geez. Add this to the list of reasons women need men. Not letting that chick touch my manhood. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Pardon me. I mean, shit, just pump your own gas. I haven't had to fill up my tank in Jersey, and I've been to Jersey a few times, but I guess I've just because for the longest time I thought people were fucking with me when they told me that about Jersey. Like, no, you can't pump your own gas there, and I guess it just never. And I think back, and there's been times I've taken real road trips into Jersey, and I mean, I've gone to like Red Bank where Clerks was filmed and Kevin Smith's comic book store is. I've gone to Comic Cons in various parts of Jersey. Yeah, I've never. I guess I've never had to fill up there because I would just walk out and try and pump my own fucking gas, and who the hell knows what the SWAT team going to come out at you or something. I'm sure you're not authorized or something. It probably just says go see attendant. Oh, pardon me. Oh, jeez. Oh, that's not far from the truth right there, that meme. We pump our own gas in California. Yeah, how does that feel, Oregon? To be faggier than California. Let's see.
Or is that the case? Are they become more effy or less effy?
You can't pump your own gas. I mean, I'm shocked at how wrong they were getting it in these pictures and shit like that. I mean, like there was one picture I saw of this person who had gone to the gas pump and they were trying to they had parked with the gas tank on the wrong side, so they're stretching the nozzle around. Yeah, it was something like that. And to be honest, I mean, if you get a new car, you're likely to make that mistake a couple of times because damn near every car it's on a different side. So that's not a huge. I can understand mistakes like that happening a bunch. You know what I mean? But some of what they were showing, it's like, holy shit, dude. Like, I mean, I know we all do dumb shit, but like, how can you get it that wrong? All right. Moving on. Let's
On a lighter note.
well, let's talk about the bigger story. Again, apologies for all this snorting and sniffing. Bannon. Let's talk about Bannon. Hang on one sec. Let me mute the mic for a second. I gotta blow my nose here. And I don't want to do that into the mic, Matt Forney style.
Well, if only we had another sidekick. But in any case, yeah. So, yeah, this whole thing is just a mess. What I've heard about it, what I've seen about it, is just such a mess it didn't have to be. Honestly, from what I understand. From what I understand, Bannon gave up 2 more details and you didn't have to, and then Trump decided to respond by saying everything he said was a lie, and then which basically get advertisement for the book that all the quotes were in. So even though it's not really doing much to the political movement, it's just a wonderful little message that the left can say, "Oh ho ho, we got Trump on something," because Lord knows they haven't done enough on that one. Let's see. Although Trump had a nice little quote earlier about how the whole Russia investigation is still turning up nothing.
Trump ripped the fuck into Bannon. Like, holy shit. And don't get me wrong. I mean, Bannon kind of had it coming here. But, I mean, Trump was like, when he lost his mind, when he lost his job, he lost his mind. He never had that much. He was never that important in the first place. He's finding out that winning isn't as easy as I make it look.
Oh, yes.
Like, he just ripped into that guy. Like, no, fuck this guy and the horse he rode in on. And so Michael Savage was saying that he thinks that the quotes in the book are just an outright lie, that Bannon didn't even really say this shit. And I guess that's entirely possible. The problem is Bannon didn't get out there and correct the record like he perhaps should have. So, for all intents and purposes, he did say it. And the shit he said in there was, well, I just don't think it's true. Shit like Trump never really wanted to win and that kind of stuff. Like, no, you don't do what Trump did if you don't want to win. You don't spend large portions of your fortune. And I know he's still a rich man even afterwards, but he still spent a lot of money, gave up a lot of income. And if he'd have lost, the Clintons would have gone after him and his family brutally. I mean, given the Clintons' record, quite possibly lethally. And yeah, you don't, and he's aware of all that, and you don't do that if you don't at least want to win. Maybe he was surprised he won. I don't even buy that, but I mean that's at least plausible. But no, he didn't even really want to win. See, this is the thing with the left. They can't make up their mind as to whether or not Trump is this evil genius who will destroy us all, or this bumbling fool who can't do anything.
Well, they're playing. I guess they're playing both. They're placing both bets. So in case one, so evidence reinforces both of them at the same time.
There's apparently some fake quote from this book that's getting passed around that the left has actually fell for. You may have seen this meme of the Gorilla Channel. The story, and this is apparently not even in the book. This is just some bullshit 4chan or something made up. Or I don't know, whatever you kids are doing now. The story is that when Trump first got to the White House, he claimed the TVs were broken because none of them could pick up the Gorilla Channel, which he claimed was a channel that broadcast gorilla stuff 24/7. Like a nature channel, it's all gorillas.
Huh?
Which I believe that's actually called BET, but I kid. But no, seriously, it's an obviously made up story. That the left just clicked right on. They were all like, Like I think some actual left-wing news outlets reported on this Gorilla channel. So he says banana splits. Anyone? Yeah, I guess TJ might also watch the Gorilla channel. I don't know. So yeah, that's been pretty amusing. I haven't followed the news too much. I've just, like I said, I've been out of it this week. Still a bit sick. Bit of a rough work schedule right now, and then the free time I do have, I've been playing Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild. So
that's something fun.
Which reminds me, there's a new animated video, folks. If you haven't checked it out already, why Mario games are not all the same.
Oh, I had so much nostalgia making that video. Oh, wow! It's just finding those old Mario commercials, especially the Mario Kart commercial. I hadn't seen that one in years. Oh,
I never even saw the Mario Kart commercial when I was a kid. I remember the Mario Land 2 one that you had clipped from. But yeah, I don't even remember the Mario Kart commercial.
I didn't have the chance. I always envy. I was a Sega Genesis kid when I was growing up, and so I didn't have a Super Nintendo. So I would always wonder it'd be like to have those. Would just watch those commercials over and over again, thinking, "Oh man, I wish I could be playing that right now."
Yeah, I had a Genesis too as a kid. I didn't have a Super. I had an NES, and then I had a Genesis. I also had a Game Boy and a Game Gear, so it's not like I mean, I had it nice, but I didn't have both the Genesis and Super Nintendo. So Super Nintendo was kind of the one that got away. It's when I got into retro gaming, I got a Super Nintendo. There was a lot of classics I picked up immediately that I'd never really gotten to play, or like, I mean, I'd played Turtles in Time a lot at like a friend's house, but I never owned it. And as a kid, Mario Kart's one of those I never played as a kid because, like, I remember being at a buddy's house and he had Mario Kart, and I just saw like, oh, there's another Mario game, and he's like, oh, that's just a racing game, and I was like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, I didn't realize how fun Mario Kart would be at the time. Because even the original, I mean, as dated as it is compared to obviously the later ones, it's still a fun game for the Super Nintendo. So he says, did you play the classic Metal Gear games on the NES? No, I did not. In fact, I didn't know Metal Gear was a thing until like Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation. Hearing people talk about that.
I actually did play Metal Gear was on NES. I never figured it out. I always got stuck on the entry levels.
I remember like when I first was getting into retro gaming in the 2000s, actually being like mid 2000s into late 2000s, being kind of surprised when I found out there was a Metal Gear on the NES. It's kind of weird when there's like something you're somewhat familiar with, even if you never got into, and finding out that it goes back further than you thought it did.
Although it's kind of funny, I've been watching like old playthroughs of it, and I think to myself, there is no way that the average gamer would have figured this stuff out. I mean, just the game designs and the mechanics of it are just so wonky.
Well, in all fairness, it was true of a lot of NES games.
Yeah. Although, considering the history that this one generated, I don't know. Or the supposed legacy that it created, yeah.
I never really had any interest in the Metal Gear series, to be honest. I have some buddies that are huge into it. But yeah, it was something I was familiar with, but I never knew there was any such thing as Metal Gear. I thought Metal Gear Solid was the start of it. Let's see. Chat here. So he says, I was playing Metroid and Metal Gear in the 80s. Metroid, I remember. I think the first time I really heard about Metroid, though, was probably when Metroid 2 came out.
I have vague memories trying to play Metroid, but unfortunately it was still too complicated for me at that age, so I kept dying too fast.
Let's see. Going through the chat here. BET once refused to play a music video because it was deemed too intelligent for its audience. No, like, you know that black chick that's on MTV? The really obnoxious, just far left.
Oh, what's her name? Oh, yeah. What's her name?
Whatever. Her name doesn't matter. But Black Anita. We'll call her Black Anita. Um. Anyway, she had a video talking about ask versus ask, or ask versus axe, right? And basically, she's defending like hood rats who say axe because she's like, yeah, there's evidence that they might have said it like that in like 1400 or something. Like, so it's actually really old school. So it's like, fuck you. It's stupid ghetto talk.
Is she wearing a hijab? No, it's just a hair. No, it's not a hijab. It's just a hair.
That's just her nappy ass hair. But it's like you're not doing black people any fucking favors when you're like, no, it's okay to talk like a fucking piece of trash. Go ahead and make sure you do that in a fucking job interview. After he asks, well, sir, are there any questions you'd like to ask me? Yeah, go ahead and do that in a job interview.
He's like the Adam ruins everything was saying, don't worry, you might have had herpes, but it's okay.
I mean, here's the thing. I don't care if that's how it was properly pronounced 400 fucking years ago or whatever. I don't care, okay? That's not how it's properly pronounced now. The cultural norm now is if you want to be speaking properly, you say ask. You don't say axe. Okay? You say axe, you sound like a fucking hood rat. And if you want to get ahead in this world, try to not sound like a fucking hood rat. There you go. There's your fucking answer. All right.
And not to go too seriously, but it's like the irony of the left trying to glorify the worst aspects of society to bring us all down to a baser common level.
Oh yeah. They'll have equality even if they have to bring everyone down to get it.
Oh, I mean, they're gonna have us down to grunting at each other and living in caves.
Let's see. Am I reading this right? Thomas Sowell wrote a book disproving words like axe and chitlins being African. Well, no, I don't think that they're African. I think like axe might be a way that in the English language that was pronounced, generations and generations ago. I don't know. That was what she was arguing in this video. I didn't watch the whole video because, again, life is too fucking short to listen to this fucking Marxist she-boon ramble on about bullshit for.
Oh yeah, I've actually seen segments of that book. The point is that Thomas Sowell points out that what we consider black culture is actually Irish culture, like violent Irish culture they imported when they were slaves.
Yes, a lot of modern black culture is just Irish culture.
The worst parts of it. Not to offend any of the Irish people like me listening.
Of course, my grandfather used to say a nigger was just an Irishman with a tan. But God rest his soul. Let me ask some mofo a question. Somebody says, yeah, that's not going to go over well in your fucking job interview. All right, you want to get ahead in life, or don't you?
Of course not. That would take away from the movement. Because people actually get hired, they might actually improve themselves, and they won't be dependent on this garbage.
Let's see. Why is standard English expected of European immigrants, but not African Americans who speak English as their first language? Yeah, maybe speak properly. I mean, that's it. At a certain point, when you look at how like leftists try and help these poor put upon groups, you have to wonder, like, are they actually trying to help? Because it sure doesn't seem that way.
The bigotry of low expectations.
Yeah, you don't help somebody by encouraging them to just wallow in their worst fucking attributes. Somebody says, Bechtloff, did you ever check out Samurai Jack? I never really watched a great deal of Samurai Jack. I don't know why, but I just never got into it.
Well, it's kind of repetitive in certain ways. I mean, it is a cartoon series that emphasizes more action than anything else, but for what it's worth, it's pretty impressive. It was pretty impressive in its time.
I can see why people like it, and I can't even put my finger on why it just never really clicked with me, but it just never really clicked with me. And I can't even say I dislike it. It's just not like I would probably watch all of it if I had like a girlfriend or roommate or something that was like heavily into it. I probably would end up getting into it eventually, but the little bits I watched, I don't know, it just wasn't enough to get me into it. Let's see. Somebody says this chick is married to a white guy. These Marxist black women talk like they down with the cause while getting it from a white man. Oh yeah. Well, you know what they say. Once you go white, you get better credit. Somebody says thoughts on season 3 of Young Justice coming out. I didn't even know that was happening, so I couldn't tell you. Have you ever watched Attack on Titan? I have not. I read the first volume of the manga. And I didn't dislike it. I thought it was very overrated. It was okay. I didn't really have an urge to then go buy volume 2. So I'll put it that way. I can see why people like it. It's just, again, it's not something that really clicked all that much with me.
It actually reminds me of another anime I watched, but I can't think of the name of. It's a more sophisticated version of the story. Basically, in the one I remember, it's basically like this man is awoken because he was in a comatose state, and he finds out the Earth is overwhelmed by these insect creatures that eat up humans, and somehow his existence is connected to their victory. And it just reminded me of a more sophisticated version of that, except for some reason there's monsters just appear out of nowhere.
There's actually an Attack on Titans, there's actually a comic book they made in Japan. I think it was only put out in Japan, but it's like a little one-shot comic where the Avengers fight a bunch of Titans. Like the Titans from Attack on Titans just appear on the Marvel Earth for some reason. I guess the same way they appeared on the Earth in Attack on Titans. They just randomly appear, except, the Marvel Universe has a bunch of superheroes who make short work of them. Because, I mean, you think about it, a handful of superheroes could probably take one of those things down. Supposedly, like, if you hit them on the back of the neck or something, they go down. So, I mean, once that's figured out, basically Thor and Iron Man and Hulk could take the rest of them out.
Oh, yeah, that's what the series was called. It was Blue Gender. And there were all these insect creatures that actually had certain weaknesses on their bodies you had to pit in the right spots.
And they have vaginas for faces?
Yeah, most of them had that design, yes.
Weird, teethy, angry vaginas for faces.
Yeah, and their weakness was that opening on the top right there, yeah.
So their weakness is the clitoris right there up at the top?
I didn't notice that when I first saw it.
You gotta find the clitoris to defeat them?
Yeah.
All right, then.
And the main characters are the kid in the red hair is the one who gets woken up from the coma, and the girl in the blonde is the one that wakes him up.
All right. The hell else did I want to talk about? Felt like I had more to talk about. This always happens to me, where it's like I got to start writing shit down more. Apparently, Artistic Layman doesn't watch as much porn as Bechtloff. Well, I don't watch a great deal of porn right now, but back in the day, I've consumed a bit of porn. We'll put it that way. I've watched a bit of porn back in my day. There's actually, I don't know if you can find safe for work pictures of her, but there was a porn star named Liz Vicious back in the mid-2000s, and this is the only time I ever subscribed to a porn site. And what I did is I got like the one-day trial for like a buck or two, and I just quickly downloaded everything I could off the site and canceled. But what's funny, yeah, there she is. Holy shit. Wicked.
Oh, the girl who inspired Blood Rain, apparently.
She actually did a movie with this other, like an actual quote unquote movie called like Succubus or something, which I think was like mostly sex scenes, but it was a quote unquote movie. She never did a ton of hardcore stuff on her site. It was always like either just solo, fingering herself, a little girl on girl with some some Hispanic chick, I think, and like what some stuff with what I assume was her boyfriend at the time, and she fucked off and like just completely retired and disappeared off the internet. And what's interesting is if you go to the site now, quote unquote, let me see if I can bring it up. I noticed this a while ago. LizVicious.com right now will take you to thebible.org, specifically the passage Ephesians 2:8-10. What does it mean to be saved?
Huh.
That is what will that is where you are redirected to if you go to LizVicious.com now. So somebody in the chat says she looks terrible. All right, blocked, reported.
It's a Bible.org page.
Yeah, that's what gets redirected to.
And you have a Liberty Mutual advertisement on it.
Well, yeah, but that kind of made, I had heard like different things. I had heard like she was doing the work through some sort of porn distributing company, and she would be able to keep the rights if she had kept doing it for such and such years, but it burned her out, so she quit. And I don't know, maybe she became like a Christian or something, because I mean, whoever owns the site now redirects it to, you know, how to be saved. So who knows? But yeah, she did it for me in a big way.
The hair color had nothing to do with it.
Well, it's the hair color. Plus, I like those little petite goth girls that just scream daddy issues. But that's for my own taste. She's a bit too skinny compared to a lot of girls I like. Like I like a little bit more ass and tits and all. But just overall, the attitude and all really did it for me. So only time I ever actually paid any money for porn online. Like actually joined one of those sites. That's not her. That's somebody else.
That's the idea.
Oh, well, yeah.
Everything else is not safe for the stream.
Well, I imagine. Somebody says, I'm pretty sure that's the girl that had glass in her face from Return of the Living Dead. No, I don't think that's the girl who played Julie from Return of the Living Dead. Somebody says, those skinny girls have anger issues. Oh, yeah, they're like wild horses. You got to break them before you can ride them. Somebody says, goth girls who shop at Nobody Loves Me clothing store. Oh, we got a Saints Row reference in the chat there. I appreciate that. Saints Row 2, one of my favorite games. But yeah, I thought that was interesting the other day that the Liz Vicious site now redirects to Ephesians 2:8-10. Apparently Liz's actual name was Mindy something, and there's a few people that like pretend to be her on social media, but none of them are actually her. She is completely fucked off. Unlike Aurora Snow, who still writes on like the Daily Beast under her porn name, Liz actually apparently did feel bad about it and fucked off. Somebody says, Bechtloff, dude, I'm surprised you caught that. Oh, Saints Row 2 is one of my favorite games ever. I played the shit out of that. Somebody says Common Filth is in the chat. Is he? I didn't see him.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't see him anywhere. I mean, shit, if he's in the chat, he can hop onto the stream if he wants. Yeah, Nobody Loves Me, but I think the only one of those there wasn't many of those. I think there was just one in the mall or something. The mall's kind of hard to find on Saints Row 2. I think one of the missions takes you there. But like I found it way before the missions because I do tons of I do tons of dicking around in sandbox games. And I actually really liked finding all the different clothes you could get your person in Saints Row 2. The mall actually had like a fetish shop too. You could buy clothes at. Yeah, Saints Row 2 is one of my favorite games. Saints Row 2 is the best Grand Theft Auto game. Somebody says that mall, I swear, was a hidden surprise. I think one of the missions took you to it, though. I think one of the missions when you were fighting like the voodoo gang, I think one of those took you to it. Oh, nostalgia wound. Oh, that's why I didn't see it. It's not he's not using common filth. He's using nostalgia wound. That's the thing. Like, just thinking about like Liz Vicious. Aside from some other things that are stirred in my head, it kind of goes to show you how porn has gotten so much worse in recent years. Luke, there's like some background noise on your end. Can you mute your mic when you're not talking? Thank you. But like again, this was a chick that all she did on her site was just she did girl, she did solo, she did stuff with a boyfriend, and I mean, let's be real, that's most women you're gonna date. At least a good chunk of them have done that shit. But like, can you imagine? Like, let's say you met like a woman and she told you like she had that in her past, right? And that's all she did. She did a little solo stuff, little girl, fucked your boyfriend on camera. You wouldn't be happy about it, but a lot of girls will have done that kind of shit in the past anyways. It's just not on camera, I mean. But imagine dating like an ex-porn star now, right? Where it's like, yeah, I did some porn and, I did one where like 50 fucking black dudes dressed like Black Panthers nutted on my face. And then I did one where somebody shoved their hand up to their fucking elbow up my ass. And I did another where just like heinous shit. You know what I mean? Just horrifying shit. I got bullied into suicide because I wouldn't suck the AIDS dick. I mean, that's what porn is now, Like I can't like that article Aurora Snow wrote in the Daily Beast a few years ago where she's like, it was her quote unquote apology to her future son. Because she actually found someone to marry her and have a kid with her, which shocks the shit out of me. Again, somebody like Liz Vicious, that's all kind of tame shit. But the stuff somebody like Aurora Snow has done over the years, holy shit. But it was that kind of apology where it's like, oh, it's it wasn't my fault, and it's everybody's fault but mine. But can you imagine that? Like, it's one thing can you imagine being a kid raised under that? And again, Aurora Snow isn't even trying to hide her porn past. Okay. Again, using Liz as an example here, Mindy is her actual name. She fucked off. All right. She deleted the site. And yeah, the stuff's still floating around out there. But she fucked off. Okay. She's not writing articles on the Daily Beast under there's Aurora after the birth. I'm sure it was an easy fucking labor. That kid could have walked out of there twirling a cane. But no, somebody like Liz Vicious, she fucked off. She disappeared. Okay. She's not being a huge attention slut about it. Whereas Aurora Snow is like still desperate for that hot load of attention on her face all the time. Good God, that poor kid. That poor kid.
Oh, in this day and age, can you imagine the cyberbullying that'll happen with this?
Again, it's one thing when the bully says your mom's a whore. It's another thing when he can produce hours and hours of video evidence that she is indeed the filthiest of whores. I mean, and I know, like I said, I don't have any illusions about people being pure as a driven snow. Okay, I know, especially when you're dating people my age. I know a lot of people have a past and stuff, but there's a difference between dating a girl who she fucked another dude before. Maybe she had a little licky with her bestie at one point. Big fucking deal. Maybe I'm just so jaded and all, but none of that would fucking really bother me. But you dated a girl and then she's telling you about her past and she's listing off the shit fucking Miss Snow here has been on camera doing. It's like, I'm gonna excuse myself to the bathroom and never return on that date.
Her Google profile, or like you Google her and her first profile is American writer.
Yeah, American
and then
writer.
It explains a former pornographic actress and director.
So he says, Bechtloff, I read an ex-porn star who apparently prayed to God on the way to every shoot for a sign to leave the industry. Think about that for a second. I can't imagine what it'd be like I mean, I'm not trying to paint these girls as victims because they know what the fuck you're getting into. Let's be real for a second here. I don't fuck this victim shit, okay? But at the same time, I can't imagine what it's like to be in the industry at this point. I mean, it was never a particularly good place to be. I'm not trying to say that. But 20 years ago, 15 years ago, maybe even 10 years ago, I don't think it was where it is now. Like, I can't imagine a woman being pressured to suck a bisexual dude's dick on social media 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really can't imagine the, you sucked that AIDS cock, you bigot, shit 10 years ago. And I can't imagine the myriad of just disgusting fucking niche pornography existing even 10 years ago.
And what's weird about this is I'm pretty certain that push was not because of anything in the pornography industry itself, but just the political sphere of our day.
Oh. My God, that poor kid. That angers me almost as much as the single mom shit. It really does. Like, look, there's certain people who shouldn't have kids. All right. There's obviously times when you shouldn't have kids in your life. If you're not married, you shouldn't have a fucking kid. All right. And if you're like you and your spouse, you're eating fucking ramen noodles and living in an efficiency apartment, you shouldn't have kids. And having kids is the easiest thing in the world to avoid. Okay. They sell condoms at the store. You can't get her mouth pregnant, all that shit. It's the easiest thing in the world to avoid. But also, there's certain people that you've done certain things in your life that door should just close to you, period. That you are going to just be bringing a kid into a situation that's just really, really brutal. And that kid didn't choose it, okay? That kid did not choose to have the filthiest of whores as his mother. And you could be like,
I'm reminded of that scene from Kill Bill. Are you reminded of that scene?
Which one?
Where she's explaining why when she found out she was pregnant, that she could not allow her child to be born in a world of assassins and murder.
Yeah. I mean, and you know what? I mean, you can be like, well, I'm pro-choice. Or I'm sorry, I'm pro-life. I'm completely against abortion. Okay, fine. That's not the only option. You can always put a kid up for adoption. Okay. And you know what? A healthy white baby is going to get snatched up in a hurry. That's the reality of the situation. Aurora's kid could have ended up in a better home. Never having to know the shameful past of his mother. Or at the very least, maybe finding out when he's an adult and could handle it. Yeah, and look, you could tell me, oh, she's a changed woman. Maybe she found Jesus and she's a changed woman. She's not. She's writing for shithead liberal fucking rag, the Daily Beast. So I can already tell she's not. But even if she was, okay, fine. That's fine. It's still it's still not a situation you should be bringing a kid into. All right. I'm not even going to mention the husband. Okay. Because yeah, we could all make the joke. Oh, he's a huge fucking cuck. And maybe he is. Okay. Or maybe he's just somehow able to look past that past. I don't fucking know. But you know what? That's his choice. He's a grown ass man and he made that choice. All right. That kid didn't have a choice in this situation.
There's actually a Netflix documentary that had one of its closing lines that they're interviewing the guy who arranges all these interviews and all the work in the industry, and he says before he hires anyone new, he asks them, okay, well, what are you going to do when your son or daughter walks in with a Playboy with you with a picture of you with when so and so? It never goes away.
And again, talking about degrees, this isn't even like you found a Playboy and your mom was naked in it, okay? I know that's an uncomfortable idea here, but guess what, everybody? Your mom liked to fuck, all right? And her mom liked to fuck. And her mom before her and her mom before her. That's why you're here, all right? At one point, your great-great-grandmother was probably sucking on your great-great-grandfather's dick like she was dying and it was the cure. That's just human beings are like that, all right? And I know no one wants to think of their parents like that, obviously, but that's the reality of the situation. So, I mean, it wouldn't be a good thing, but it's one thing if you found some old fucking girly mag that your mom was in. That's a lot fucking different, if nothing else in degrees, than what the fuck you're finding with Aurora Snow, okay? There's a bit of a difference there. Imagine for a moment your mom was Betty Page, and imagine for a moment your mom was Aurora Snow. Which one do you think is worse? You know what I'm saying? Bit of a difference there. And yeah, in the internet age, it doesn't go away. I mean, think about it. The Liz Vicious site is gone. And Luke, you threw up some pictures of Liz Vicious. Did you have any fucking problem Google imaging searching her? I don't think so.
Not really, no.
I'm certain I could go on to any of the Pornhub type sites and find a bunch of her videos still. Pardon me. I might have have a coughing fit for a second there, but so he says if you're an ex-whore, prostitute, or porn star, you should become a nun. Damn near. Somebody says, Bechtloff, be real, that boy would find out the moment his balls dropped and turned on a computer. Oh, shit, yeah. Especially given the fact that this woman still uses that porn name. She still is active under the name Aurora Snow. She's not even trying to sweep it under the rug. Let's see. Scrolling through the chat here. So he says, I wish that ending net neutrality actually did get rid of porn. If you're a man in the industry, you stick needles in your dick to keep it hard. Slice the muscle so it hangs longer and being anorexic. Jesus. Ugh. Ugh, man. That's horrible. I really wish I hadn't heard that. That's terrible. I'm starting to feel worse for the guys now.
Yeah, the industry. From what I understand, the industry is more women-friendly, despite the obvious sexist interpretation of it.
Well, of course. I mean, women are the stars. I mean, at least heterosexual porn. I don't know what's going on with the fag porn, what the dynamics are in that.
Oh heavens, I'd rather not think about that.
But yeah, heterosexual porn. I mean, the man is merely an object this woman is defiling herself with for the amusement of the audience. I mean, he might as well be a dildo. For 50 years, they've all bitched about all they bitched about is empowering women, and what we get is all these neurotic, self-destructive women. Yeah. Yeah, I can't. Can you imagine being that woman's kid? But again, see, that's the thing, and I mentioned this on a stream a while ago. I might have even been on Davis's stream or something, I think, or maybe he was on mine. But I mean, I put more thought into buying my dog, my last dog, than most of these people put into having kids. I mean, I went home and slept on it before I truly decided to get that dog, and thought to myself, can I give this dog, what he needs? Can I give him the attention he needs? Am I going to be able to afford vet bills and all this other stuff? Can I give this dog, can I give this dog the life he needs? Can I give this dog a good life? Nobody seems to think when they're having kids, can I give this kid a good life? Nobody seems to think about that. They either think, I don't want kids for selfish reasons, like, it'll interfere with my lifestyle, or they think I do want kids for selfish reasons. I want someone to love me and carry on my legacy. Fuck all that. Fuck what you want. And ask yourself for a moment, can you give this kid a good life?
And what legacy are we talking about in this case?
Yeah, really. What the fuck's the legacy of Aurora Snow? It's the old joke.
Not to sound crass about it, but when she passes on, are people going to think to themselves, "Oh yeah, I watched so many of her videos"?
Yeah, well, you gonna? Is it? What was the joke when August Ames died? Like, is it disrespectful to crank one out to her videos now, or is it like pouring one out for your homie? I mean, and again, what porn is now, I think, is just leagues worse than what it was years ago. Like I said, there's a big difference between finding out that your mom used to be Betty Page and your mom used to be Aurora Snow. Shit, I would argue there's even a considerable difference between finding out your mom used to be Liz Vicious and your mom used to be Aurora Snow. Because Aurora Snow was still active when I was still looking at a decent amount of porn. And I remember seeing one of her videos one time and thinking, oh, she's cute. And she had a really nice smile. Every woman in the porn industry has a good body, really. So sometimes I get attracted to back in my degenerate days, there was something about a very cute, innocent looking smile while horrible things are being done around her that was rather enticing. So I made the mistake of saying, okay, I'm just going to search for this actress, right? And it's a mistake I sadly made a couple of times, because inevitably you come across the really fucked up shit that they inevitably did. So he says, go back 50 years. Kids were about reasons. Today, kids are about feelings. I say porn should pay men and women the same. The men make $500 for a shoot. The women make $1,500 for a shoot. Oh yeah, you don't necessarily hear about the pay gap in the porn industry, do you? You want to talk about a real pay gap? And I would argue the men are doing the harder work in that too.
Yeah, you were saying the qualitative difference between Betty Page and Aurora. It'd basically be the difference between Jessica Rabbit and Hollywood at this point, from an animator's perspective.
Yeah, that's a decent. Although I think it's a bit wider of a gulf, but yeah, that's a good analogy.
Yeah,
wider of a gulf, no pun intended. Yeah, again, this isn't all to be defending porn at all. I mean, look, if you're jacking off to porn, you really ought to stop it. It's bad for you. Especially the porn they have now. Um, like just knock it off. It's not good for you, you know. But there's a difference between what we used to have and what we have now, for fuck's sake. Um Bechtloff likes to imagine himself as the goody priest corrupting the nice little schoolgirls. Well, I don't know about priest, but I have played teacher a time or two in my day. Who didn't love a little teacher role play? Um, Somebody says, "Why is it not good for you?" Shit, do I have to fucking answer that? I mean,
Ooh, where do
let
we
me
begin?
let me put it this way: I would liken porn's harmful effects to that of a mental and spiritual junk food. Look, if you go jack it off to a dirty magazine or something once in a while, it's not really going to hurt you. Okay, you're not going to go jack it off to one fucking video of a chick fingering herself, and you're going to go be Ted Bundy or some shit. I know a lot of religious conservatives like to tell you that it's not the case. Um, but much in the same way that you eat a Milky Way bar once in a while, it's not going to hurt you, as opposed to you're eating Milky Way all the fucking time. You're going to look like T.J. Kirk there. All right. You can look like fucking Movie Bob or Jim Sterling. It's gonna kill you. And likewise, um, porn is addictive. It does like those dopamine centers up in your brain, just like drugs, really. And you can get yourself into a bad habit there, and you can get yourself to, yeah, you can really fuck yourself up there. It is not good for you. Um, Somebody says, "Can you give me some tips for kicking the habit?" I don't know, man. You just If it comes right down to it, you're gonna have to just restrict your internet access. You're gonna just have to make sure you have a computer that's shared with people or something. You know, that's a pretty good motivator to not want to look at porn if you know that people are gonna know you were just looking at porn. You know, if you know people are gonna go into that search bar and they're gonna type L and the first thing that's gonna come up is lizvicious.com, you might be a little less likely to be going to lizvicious.com. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, that's one way you can do it if you're really serious about it. Um, if you're a church going guy, you find somebody you're close to within the church who can, you know, check on your internet history and all. I mean, you got to have some accountability a lot of times to break a habit like that. Um, and at a certain point, you just got to want to. At a certain point, you just got to be like, I'm not happy with this, um, and just stop. You know, I mean, it was something. Shit, it was probably nearly 10 years ago that I was looking at tons of it, tons of it. And don't get me wrong, I've fallen off the wagon a time or two between the time I said I'm done with this and now. Um, but yeah, I just was like, dude, I gotta stop doing this. This is not good. You know. Um, so he says, hell, using porn could get you into gay shit. I've heard that.
And looking up references to this, I was reminded that Boogie 2988 actually ate a whole jar of mayonnaise.
Yes, he did. Or was that Casket King?
Oh, well, I'm looking at him now, but he's doing it for charity. But yeah, maybe like looking at pornography is like drinking a jar of mayonnaise.
Porn destroys your ability to pair bond, just like having sex with a lot of people does. Yes, I've heard that as well. Um, I wonder what it's like for kids with porn star parents on Bring Your Kids to Work Day. um, Let's see. Also, most fucked up fetishes are the result of using porn too much. Well, I don't know. I mean, I had me a few fetishes before I ever really got into porn, so I don't know about that. Of course, my fetishes are probably pretty tame compared to a lot of what's going on out there. I mean, I don't really think I'd end up in a like none of mine are likely to end up being covered by Mr. Medicare or Common Filth. Let me put it that way. Uh, I'm kind of too kinky for the normies, but I'm too tame for the fucking FetLife community. But you know what TJ always told us? You don't really know a person till you've looked at their FetLife profile. And isn't that just truly the most liberal mindset? You don't really know a person. You know, a person is defined by the absolute, most degenerate aspect of them. A person is defined by their most shameful aspect. That's just sort of the liberal mindset. There's nothing aspirational about the liberal mindset. Like atheism, like secular humanism and all, it used to be like Star Trek. It used to be like, we're going to get rid of God, and that's going to mean that we can become enlightened and explore the galaxy. Now it's become the Hellraiser box. We're going to get rid of God, and that's going to mean we can explore each other's assholes. That's what it's become. And I guess that's what it inevitably was to become. I guess it isn't the God list that ultimately would explore the galaxy. A lot of early NASA, a lot of those guys were hardly atheists, were they? What would be worse, finding out your mom was Aurora Snow or finding out your dad was the amazing atheist? Oh man, I don't know. I mean, the thing about it though is, like, you would always know your dad is the amazing atheist. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like TJ's going to get his act together and try and act normal for a while. You know what I mean? At least Aurora Snow is conceivably trying to not act like a whore as a mom. Somebody says my fetishes are black women in maids' outfits and covered in champagne. Okay, not usually one for black women, but I have seen a couple of pretty hot black women in my day. I've seen a couple I wouldn't mind making a mulatto with. Can the amazing atheist father a child? I don't know. I mean, based on the video I saw, you almost have to artificially inseminate when you're the amazing atheist. I don't know that he's able to quite penetrate enough for fathering a child.
Science has gone that far.
So he says all the hot black women are already mulattoes to begin with. I generally find a lot of half-breed women pretty hot. And it's kind of counter my usual taste of incredibly pale-skinned white chicks, but there's a lot of mulatto women over the years. There was a couple that lived next to me when I was a kid that growing up that were blossoming into quite the hotties. Hell, back in the day, Mariah Carey was fucking stunning. I mean, she's gotten kind of a big fat ass now, but she's also like fucking 60 or some shit. So, but man, back in the day, Mariah Carey was fucking impressive. What was that chick, Sierra? She was pretty cute back in the day. I'm pretty sure she was a half breed. Is this the Gorilla Channel Trump was talking about? Let's see. Most personal favorites are half white, half Asian girls. Yeah, I never really was into Asian girls. Of course, I'm not really into black chicks that much either. What about pale skin gingers? That's for me, the pale skin gingers.
That was Mariah Carey?
Who's Mariah Carey? Yes, that was Mariah Carey.
Wow.
Yeah, she was impressive. That was probably one of my earliest celebrity crushes too, as a kid. I think like the only earlier one than that was like fucking Kelly from Saved by the Bell. Yeah, Mariah Carey was fucking stunning back in the day. Always had a hell of a voice on her too. I mean, hell, she's not that bad for her age now. Yeah, she's kind of fat, but I mean, she's got to be well into her 50s. Kimberly from Power Rangers. Yeah, I was never big into Power Rangers, but I mean, she was cute and all, but that was never one where I was like, oh yeah, Kimberly. Fucking Kelly from Saved by the Bell, though. Holy shit. And then Topanga from Boy Meets World when I was a kid. That was another one. Oh yeah. Let's see what we got going on here. Amy Jo Johnson still looks good to this day. Oh, is that Kimberly? I guess. I don't know. There's the Bulbasaur. Good old smug Wendy. LOL, they blocked me. I don't know who was running the Wendy's Twitter for a while there, but it was fantastic. Let's see, how long have we gone on here? A little over an hour. Yeah, I think we're probably gonna wrap this up then. All right, folks, if you enjoy the show, there's a Patreon and a PayPal where you can keep supporting this show. That helps me keep doing what I'm doing. As of right now, there's still no regularly scheduled big weekly show. I'd like to get back to that, but I have to figure out a way to make the schedule a little bit more workable in my day job. You know, obviously I gotta, this, while I appreciate everybody that donates to this just doesn't, this just obviously isn't something I can live off of. So I have to have a day job. But I'm working on trying to sort the schedule out a little bit. So that maybe we can go back to doing a Friday or Saturday show with a bunch of guests and, actual prep and shit like that. Meantime, there's the animated videos. I just had one up on why all Mario games are not the same. And I got one I got to record here probably this morning that Luke will start working on why it is the fault of Power Ranger fans, or no, I'm sorry, Power Rangers. I had Power Rangers under mine there. It is the fault of Star Wars fans that Star Wars is so bad now. So that'll be the next rant. It's not Disney's fault. It's not Lucas's fault. It's your fault, Star Wars fans.
Ooh, that'll be fun to animate.
It's your fault. You did this. This is the future you chose. And I'll have a rant as to why. And it will be indisputable. You won't be able to argue with it. You'll want to, but you won't be able to. Let's see. So yeah, Patreon, PayPal. Yeah, that's about it. Follow me on the Gab. Follow me on the Facebook if you haven't. The Bechtloff on both those places. And that's about all we got for today, folks. I want to thank you all for listening. Bechtloff out.